Drinking and distracted driving certainly aren't a new problem, but it's a devastating one that all too often has deadly consequences. Hampden District Attorney Anthony Gulluni has launched a new program called Stop the Swerve in an effort to educate young people, particularly about the dangers of distracted driving. They recently held an event at the Basketball Hall of Fame where teens heard directly from victims of such crashes. Connecting Point correspondent Carolee McGrath has the story.
Stop the Swerve is a program that my office started just recently that's really focused on young people who are about to get their license or just have gotten their license, and teaching them about impaired and distracted driving, building awareness so they understand really what the serious responsibility it is to start to drive and to have your license. So Stop the Swerve references, getting kids to understand that when they're looking at their phone or they're driving while impaired in some other way, right, that they're swerving, and that's of course when bad things happen. So we had an event just a couple weeks ago on April 1st where we had really hundreds of young people, high school students, come in to the Basketball Hall of Fame for a program that we sponsored that had interactive exhibits, that had a video presentation around distracted driving that we produced that will show going forward in high schools. But it was really effective in teaching kids about the responsibility of driving and what can happen when you drive when you're drinking or you drive distracted. You also had a pretty powerful video that I know that you showed as well. Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, the video is something we produced. It comes actually, their ability to produce the video comes from a grant that we got from the Massachusetts Office of Victim Assistance. So it was a really well done video, and it features a couple different vignettes about stories of tragedy, and stories when there were losses of life, there were prosecutions. We have a young man who was prosecuted as a result of his actions and choices in getting in a car with his friends and driving drunk. He ended up causing severe injuries to his friends on an accident on 91 a couple years ago, and he was good enough and courageous enough to participate in this video and tell us about his story and really help to educate young people about what he did and what not to do in their own lives. We also have the perspectives of a state trooper who talks about his investigations and what he's seen. We have a prosecutor in my office who talks about the prosecution and the real legal consequences that come with those choices to drive drunk or drive impaired, and what the consequences can be for yourself and also for those others on the road and the people who might be in your car. So it's a really nice presentation of experiences that hopefully educate young people against making bad choices. Now, why was this so important for you to take on it? You're a busy guy. You've got a lot of things going on in your office. Why was this issue in particular something that was important to you? Well, we realize its prevalence. We realize that every day there are lives lost across the country, but here in Hampden County, it's a significant issue where folks are getting in their cars, making bad decisions, and not understanding the impact and consequences of being distracted while driving or driving while being impaired or being intoxicated. So among a lot of other important initiatives, this is one that I've really taken on. I think we've recognized the impact and the significance of presenting this story, presenting this lesson to young people, because we realize that they're getting their licenses, they're getting keys for many times the first time in their lives, and they're forming habits that they'll maintain for years and years to come. So to teach them now what is really the responsibility to have a license and to drive, and what your choices can be and how they can impact yourself and others, is a really important lesson that will, I think, reverberate for years and years to come as they drive. I think it's so hard, though, when you're that age. And I heard from a young man not too long ago, like, okay, I don't want to go out drinking with the guys on the weekend, but if I don't, I have no one to hang out with. It's so hard to be strong like that. And you're much younger than me. I mean, it wasn't that long ago for you. It's a hard decision. How do you encourage kids, to stay on that narrow path? I think it's awareness. I think it's letting them know what those choices can make. And sometimes it's a split-second decision. Sometimes it is getting in that car, it's picking up those keys, it's having that second drink. I mean, young people, of course, we educate to not drink and drive at all. They shouldn't be drinking in the first place. But for people of all ages, we're saying just make smart decisions. And here's what happens if you don't. Here's what happens. You're going to be liable for thousands and thousands of dollars of damages. You're going to be prosecuted, potentially imprisoned, and you're going to hurt people. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt your loved ones. You're going to hurt other innocent people on the road. I mean, we featured stories of mothers talking about the loss of a daughter, and how that's, of course, impacted her so deeply. And hopefully that resonates with people. And in that split-second decision, in those moments leading up to their getting into a car, people remember that, and they think, okay, despite the social impact, the peer pressure, they understand the severity of their decisions and their impact.
I know some of the local schools had a contest for a PSA, and it looks like Ludlow won, and that's going to be airing. Have you seen that one yet?
Of course I have, yeah. I was part of the judicial panel making the decision as to which video was best. So yeah, that was a part of the Stop the Swerve program, where we asked high schools from across the county to contribute with a public service announcement of about 30 seconds in length. We got 16 entries from different high schools from all over the county. We chose 3 winners, first, second, and third places. The first place was from Ludlow High School. They did a terrific job. The morning after was the name of the video, morning spelled O-U, meaning the morning, the grief after, and it featured a situation in which, of course, it was acted, but it was a situation in which someone gets in his car after having been drinking at a party and causes an accident, and then it shows sort of the perspective of someone in the grave and talks about the morning after, and then features the family and the friends of that person and how it impacts those people, not just the person making the decision. And we think that's impactful for people to think in a sense that this is going to impact my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, my friends so deeply. So again, that's what we hope registers with people and sticks with them when they're in those positions in which they have to make those tough decisions.
And what about for parents? What could you advise parents to do to just really reinforce this message?
We welcome parents to the Stop the Swerve event. We had dozens and dozens of parents there as well. It's educating their children. It's if their kids were not at the Stop the Swerve event or haven't been otherwise exposed to our message, tell them, reinforce how important it is to make these smart decisions. Tell them about what their responsibility is when driving, and make it clear to them. I mean, you can punish them. My parents punish me often and seriously, but if your child needs you at a time when he's been drinking or she's been drinking or they're in a bad situation, let them know it's okay to call. Let them know that I'm going to be there if you need me. I'd rather have you call me in one of these situations than take a chance in getting in a car where someone's been drinking.
All right, that's great advice. Thank you so much for joining us, Anthony Gulluni. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.